Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Toast Take, episode 72, and there is a starman, isn't there? There's a starman waiting for us, and his name is Donald Trump. And I guess after seeing all that Elon Musk has done and shooting rockets into space, we're just sending rockets left and right. You may not have known about it, according to Donald Trump, but Donald Trump wants us to have a space force. If you haven't heard, here's his latest speech. Here he's speaking in San Diego, which is Spanish for, well, I think we all know what it is Spanish for. But so here's his latest speech. Let's listen in to our wonderful president.
First, my opponent won, and I can tell you, you wouldn't even be thinking about it. You wouldn't be thinking about it. My new national strategy for space recognizes that space is a war-fighting domain, just like the land, air, and sea. We may even have a space force. Develop another one. Space Force. We have the Air Force, we'll have the Space Force. We have the Army, the Navy.
So you can kind of already hear some of the giggles and the uneasy laughter in the audience. They're like, yeah, Space Force, Donald Trump. Okay, let's roll with it.
I was saying it the other day because we're doing a tremendous amount of work in space. I said, maybe we need a new force. We'll go with the Space Force.
Why not?
Not really serious.
Oh, okay. Sure, okay, as long as you're not serious.
That could happen. That could be the big breaking story. Look at all those people back there. Look at that.
So you can always tell when Donald Trump realizes, oh, I probably said something I shouldn't have said, because the first thing he then goes into is,
that fake news.
There it goes. So Donald Trump talked about running a space force, but then said, I'm just joking, but maybe I'm actually serious. Oh, but it's all fake news anyway. But, for people that are obviously, laughing about Trump's idea of a space force, I mean, it's not that dumb of an idea. We've actually been doing it. I pulled up this article from Jalopnik, which is usually like the last place I really want to pull articles from. And while it sounds like a stupid idea, as Jalopnik says, it's actually been around forever. And let me just kind of explain and indulge you. So just a little bit ago, President Trump, in a speech given to the Marines in San Diego, described the need for a new military branch called a space force. Well, the truth is, we've been doing things like this and planning this sort of thing for quite some time, only it never sounded quite so stupid. So it's obvious that Trump just has a way of making great ideas sound stupid, which, he's Trump. Why not? So you all heard what he had to say and things like that, but this has been understood for decades that we've needed or had a space force. Ever since we started launching satellites, it's been understood that the ability to destroy or impair those satellites is a huge strategic advantage. Look, we've put hundreds, if not thousands, of satellites into space, and they're orbiting Earth. They give us direct TV and other satellite communications, Sirius XM radio, things that we use to communicate to each other and actually get our news are through satellites. We're able to spy on other countries with satellites. We have Google Maps thanks to satellites. A lot of things that we're able to do is thanks to satellites, and all it would take is some belligerent country like a North Korea, maybe a Russia or a China, to go and just start popping some of those satellites out of the sky, and then we'd be pretty much crippled in a matter of seconds. As a matter of fact, all it takes is like one burst from the sun to knock communications off a little bit, and we're down, So the Air Force has been active in orbital operations since the 1960s, for example. They currently have a secret, small space shuttle-like vehicle that can remain in orbit for an incredibly long stretch of time. The United States operated the United States Space Command from 1985 to 2002, and those duties were taken over by the Joint Functional Component Command for Space. And this article basically just goes on and on and on, but then there is one thing it brings up, which again just makes me believe that Trump is truly the Manchurian candidate. The Russians also have something, and they call it the Russian Space Force. So it's not surprising that Donald Trump also called ours the Space Force as well. So as far as having a space military branch all to itself, even that's been proposed as recently as last June, where a Space Corps would become part of the Air Force, much in the way the Marine Corps is part of the Navy, which I didn't know that they were part of the Navy. See, I learned something new. I thought they were like a completely separate branch in their own. And so this article, of course, goes on and on and on. But yeah, it sounds stupid when Trump says it, but it's actually not a bad idea. Now, whether we have like a full-blown, presence of people in space, manning vehicles that have, guns on them like TIE fighters and X-Wings, I don't think that's going to happen. But it does kind of get scary because, we never really did get a Snoke origin story. So I'm kind of wondering if this is how it starts. You never know. We've seen crazier things happen, right? So who knows? Maybe Trump is going to become the supreme leader at some point. But yeah, that's all I got. What are your ideas on this awesome Space Force? What should it do? What should it enforce? And will it help us or just be another distraction to the fact that Trump throws out all these crazy ideas but hardly gets anything done? That's all I've got. Let's throw back on some awesome David Bowie, and I will see you all tomorrow. Where's my David Bowie? There we go.